Hi guys, I'm Eileen. Happy New Year! So to celebrate the fresh start of the new year, I thought I'll share with you exactly how much I spent on luxury items in the whole of last year. Overall, I think I did pretty well in controlling my spending, and I thought it might be useful to share with you on how to really cut down on impulse shopping. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, I bought a pair of Jimmy Choo flats on sale for £330, a shearling gilet by Karl Donahue at £300, a pair of Jimmy Choo sunglasses at £220. Last but not least, I got the Woolrich Parker jacket at £575 on Boxing Day. So in total, I've spent £1,425. However, I've also sold a number of pieces from my collection last year, including the Cartier Love bracelet, the Hermes Lindy 26, and 2 Louis Vuitton toiletry pouches, and the money that I recouped was quite a bit more than what I spent last year. So essentially, I didn't spend any of my savings or what I call the new money for luxury. Again, I think I did pretty well, and a lot of it was down to cutting down on impulse shopping. And I have 7 tips to share with you guys. First of all, every time you want to buy something, think of it as, would you rather have the equivalent cash amount instead? So look around your room and see if there's anything you would immediately trade for cash if you had the option. For example, it might be a handbag that costs you £1,000, which you've never used. You probably would prefer to have the £1,000 back and return the bag if you could. In fact, this year I've done quite a bit of decluttering, and quite a few pieces of clothing still had the price tags on. And I remember saying to myself, if only I could have the cash back. I think many times we get so fixated on the purchase that we forget we are spending a lot of money. My friend jokingly said to me once, don't pay with your card, instead put the pile of cash next to the item you're about to purchase, and the item might look less attractive. Jokes aside, there are many pieces in my collection that I don't regret spending money on. But the key is to not shop mindlessly and end up with a closet full of things that you wish you didn't buy. The second tip is to not do aimless shopping on special occasions. I think nowadays, special occasions like birthdays and anniversaries are often associated with presents. Now, I have no arguments at all if you have something in mind that you've been wanting for a long time, but I would not suggest to go out shopping and try really hard to look for a gift just because you feel like you deserve something nice on a special day. I've done this myself. So about 5 years ago, I was in Chanel with my husband on my birthday, and he said to me, choose something as your birthday present. To be honest, nothing really caught my eyes, but I just really wanted to buy something because it was my birthday, and I chose a wallet on chain in a bright red color. It was completely an impulse purchase. I didn't do any research at all, because if I did, I would have known that wallet on chains were not my kind of bags. Plus, I never really wear red color handbags anyway. So now I'm older, I try to celebrate every occasion with appreciation and just really enjoy the moment. I don't feel obligated to get myself anything just because it's a certain date on the calendar. I know I can reward myself at any time, but only with tip number 3 to reduce impulse spending is to always remind yourself about the hassle you have to go through if you want to sell the item in the future. This one works very well for me, especially when I quite like something but just not 100% sure. As I mentioned, I've sold a number of items from my collection, and along the way, I've met some really lovely people. However, selling is a very time-consuming process. I always try to be a responsible seller by responding to all inquiries and really taking my time to package the item carefully. And even when the item is being posted, I will still have the anxiety about the item going missing or getting damaged. And I only feel the sense of relief when the buyer contacts me again to say they've received the item and love it. Also, let's not forget the amount of money you're quite likely to lose when you sell, even when your item is in the perfect condition. So the next time you're about to cave in, ask yourself this question. If it turns out I don't actually enjoy this item, will I be happy to sell it at half price in 6 months? Trust me, that will make you think long and hard before buying anything expensive. Tip number 4 to tackle impulse spending is to divert your attention. Now I'm sure you've been in a situation where you really want to buy something, but deep down you know it's not the best thing to do, but you just can't resist the temptation. Well, in this case, I would suggest to spend the money on something else. It can be your mortgage overpayment, student loan or investment, because essentially now the money is gone, you don't even have to debate if you should make the purchase. Quite often, you'll feel a sense of achievement because you've just avoided an impulse purchase. Instead, you've used the money for a greater purpose. I've done this many times myself, and I thank myself every single time. Tip number 5 to cut down on impulse shopping is to estimate how many hours you have to work to cover the cost of your purchase. Now this one might sound a bit off-putting, but it can really put things into perspective for you. The mathematics is quite simple. So for example, if you're getting paid £50 an hour, you have to work 10 hours to get a pair of shoes that cost £500. So take a moment to consider if these shoes are worth 10 hours of work. If you have the slightest doubt, walk away. Honestly, I love luxury shopping, but I also understand that money is a limited resource for many of us. Now this is not to say to never buy anything ever again, rather to only spend your hard-earned money on things that truly bring you joy and happiness. Tip number 6 is to only do your shopping when you're centered and focused. This is very crucial if you want to avoid emotional impulse shopping. I used to rely on retail therapy when I was having a bad day, which is not a good idea. It's almost like going for grocery shopping when you're hungry. Studies show that shopping can release the dopamine in your brain, which gives you the sense of satisfaction and pleasure when you buy something nice. However, this is not a long-lasting effect. I used to feel guilty and even more stressed soon after the impulse purchase. So if you're not having a good day, try not to get the instant gratification from shopping. Instead, go for a walk, a movie, or a nice spa massage. Last but not least, whenever you want to buy something unplanned, sleep on it and see if you still really want it in a few days. Personally, I leave it for a good 7 days or longer when I'm tempted to buy something unplanned. I think creating some barriers is critical, especially nowadays we can get anything at our fingertips and the parcel arrives in no time. Furthermore, we are also constantly exposed to social media, and sometimes as soon as we see something nice on someone else, we want it there and then without doing any research. Now, I'm not blaming these resources because they can be absolutely amazing when used wisely, but you just want to make sure you are in the driver's seat and take charge of your own spending. There you have it. Those are the 7 tips that I personally find very helpful in controlling impulse shopping. Let me know if you have other suggestions. I hope in the new year we will all shop mindfully and only bring home pieces that bring us joy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!